Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ujola for Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode, I want to talk about the anticipation of the future and how it relates to our present moment. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Don't let the anticipation of the future rob the value that exists in the present moment. Don't let the anticipation of the future rob the value that exists in the present. Now, let me say that again slowly so that you can get it more. Do not allow the anticipation of the future rob the value that already exists for you in the present. See, there is something sacred about that line. There is something sacred about this statement, because in a world that is constantly pulling you toward what is next, what do you want to do again, we forget how to see what is in the now, how we are to see what we already have. So let us just get into it. The future is loud, all right? But the present is always subtle. It's always technically silent. The future screams deadlines, goals, expectations, dreams, pressures, plans. It yells at you through your calendar, through your to-do list, through your phone notifications, through your own internal demands. Meanwhile, the present speaks in whispers, in moments, in breath, in stillness. It shows up in your child's giggle, in the warmth of a real conversation you're having with a significant other, in the comfort of a deep sigh after a long day, in the quiet beauty that exists in the now. But if you are always living in the anticipation mode, you're always trying to hurry up, always trying to arrive at some better chapter in your life, you will miss the gold that is sitting in your current one. See, the future will always be there, but this moment will not always be there. Let me say something that may feel uncomfortable, but I think it is the truth. Some of us get addicted to anticipating change more than engaging the change that is possible right now. Let me say that again. Some of us are addicted to anticipating change more than engaging the change that is possible right now. We fantasize about where we are going. We script it. We rehearse it. We feel like it's movement. But it is often just mental motion with no action, with no traction. That is the illusion of anticipation. You can feel like something is happening simply because you are mentally living in a future that has not happened yet. It creates emotional activity without actual momentum. See, this is what is dangerous about that. You start to equate thinking about tomorrow as the same as honoring today. But they are not the same. You cannot collect the value of the moment if your mind keeps skipping ahead to what is next. Some breakthroughs are not waiting at a future date. They are just waiting for you to fully show up today. Let me draw a line between two ways of thinking. One says, what if I don't make it? What if I fail? What if they leave me? What if it doesn't work? That is anxiety talking. That is worry talking. The other says, I am breathing. I have food on my table. I am learning. I'm still here. That is gratitude talking. Let me now hear me very clearly, all right? I'm not telling you to stop planning. Do you understand me? I'm not telling you to stop planning. I'm telling you to stop living in your plans so long that your present starts feeling like a prison instead of a gift. See, the more anxious we become about what is next, the more we devalue what we already have. And that is what this podcast is all about. Anticipation starts as a form of hope, but when you leave it unchecked, it's morphed into a fear of not arriving. And that fear eats away at your ability to enjoy where you are right now. So, what if you stopped chasing moments and start cherishing them? Let's be honest. Some of us are carrying a mindset that whispers, if I can just get through this week, if I can just land that promotion, if I can just buy that house, or if I'm able to raise the money to rent that place, if I can just hit that goal. And what happens? You get through the week, you eventually land the promotion, you eventually move into that house, you eventually hit the goal. And what did your brain do? It finds another just if I can get moment for you to chase. That is the trap of living in constant anticipation. It puts satisfaction on the buy side, and it convinces you that your joy lives in some distant then and never in the now. So, how do you escape that? You make today valuable. You make small wins matter in your life. You learn how to celebrate being, not just achieving, but being. Because if you are only happy when the next thing happens, happiness will always be one step ahead of you. And that is what you need to think about. See, presence is not passive, it is powerful. And that is the myth that I want you to bust today. Presence is not about doing nothing. It's about being all there in whatever it is that you are doing right now. There is a big difference between going through the motions and being moved by the moment. Being present at dinner doesn't mean you stare at your food. It means you actually listen to the conversation of the people you're with, and you eat that food consciously. Being present in your work doesn't mean you avoid ambition. No, it means you don't let ambition rob the meaning out of the task that is in front of you. Being present with yourself doesn't mean you stop dreaming. No, it means you stop abandoning your current growth because you are obsessed with a version of you that only exists in the future. Presence is not passive. Presence is a decision, a choice to value what is, even while moving toward what will be. See, if you zoom out, right? You zoom out, you discover that life is not lived in the future. It is lived in a string of present moment after present moment. Your child doesn't stay 5 years old forever. Your partner doesn't always ask for your attention. Your energy doesn't stay high forever. Your moments don't repeat themselves. So when you let anticipation take over, you start to miss the life you are actually living. That small laugh, that is the moment. That quiet drive, that is the moment. That tough but honest conversation, that is the moment. And yet we miss it because we are on autopilot, because our head is 5 days ahead, because we think something better is always just around the corner. But what if the beauty is right where you are? What if the beauty is right there, is right here? What if you already have access to something that future you will wish you value more? Do you understand me? What if you already have access to something that the future you will always wish you valued more? See, you've probably heard someone say, I blinked and the year was over. I barely remember last month. It's all a blur. That is not always a sign of a busy life. That is often a sign of an unaware life. You moved, you produced, you achieved, but you did not live in it. You are anticipating so much, you forget to feel it. So let me offer this. Maybe fulfillment is not some big, loud milestone moment. Maybe it is found in the stillness between the tasks, in the joy between goals, in the rest between responsibilities. The awareness you bring to your now determines the peace you will feel about your next level. That I want you to remember. Let's not swing too far, all right? This is not about ignoring your dreams or losing your ambition. This is not about playing small or never setting goals. It's about learning how to hold vision in one hand and gratitude in the other. It's about saying, yes, I'm growing, but I'm still grateful. Yes, I'm hungry, but I'm not empty. Yes, I'm aiming higher, but I'm not ignoring what I already have. I'm not ignoring what is already here. Balance doesn't mean you stop looking forward. It means you stop using forward as a reason to feel empty now. So some people chase so hard that they forget what they already caught. Some people plan so deep into next year, they forget to smile in this year that they are. So slow down. Make room to feel. Make room to celebrate. Make room to breathe. Your future doesn't need all your attention. Your present deserves some of your attention too. So as you go today, if you can spend hours imagining what might be, that means you can spend just a few minutes to imagine or to live in what already is. So today, when your mind starts racing towards next week, I want you to bring it back. Let your mind and body